I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for joining us. You're in the SafetyNet Assistance Network meeting. So if that's where you're supposed to be, great. And if not, please stay with us and see what you can learn. We have some really exciting speakers today that I know that will just make a difference in the work that you do and the people you serve. I guess, as we all know, we are in a place in nonprofit, well, in anywhere, that data makes all the difference in the world. It tells the story about what we're doing. And so one of the data points that we have is 211. They capture an incredible amount of data that gives us so much information about what's going on in the community. For example, during COVID, we worked with the Community Foundation and we had a weekly funding process. And we used 211 data and charity tracker data to see what the needs were literally that week. And it constantly changed for the first few months. So I hope that this will really show you what the needs are in the community and what people are calling about. We're so excited to have Katie in our community. She does so much. And if you have not been to one of her trainings, I just encourage you to take advantage of it. So Katie, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us about what's been going on and what the calls were for 2022.
Sure. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well and enjoying the weather. I know personally, I'm super excited. Tomorrow we are going to the beach for the first time this year. So my kid's excited, although he has a broken arm. So we are going to bag one arm, but we're excited anyway. We are going. So I hope everybody else finds something extra fun to do this weekend. So we are going to take a few minutes to walk through a little bit about 211 and what our numbers look like and how we get our numbers, and then hopefully how those numbers can be useful to y'all's organizations. So that's always our goal, is to be as helpful as possible to everyone providing direct services to the community. And so we're just going to walk through some options and ways that we can do that for you guys. If you've got questions as we go through, please don't hesitate. You can put them in the chat box, or you can email me directly. And some of my team is on the call, and they'll kind of add some things to the chat box as we go through. There we go. A couple of quick things. Again, I'm Katie Reams. I'm the director of 211 services. Several members of our team are also on the call. Jesus Caldera, who is our database manager, Lucius Roser, who is our database coordinator. And they are who make the magic happen, y'all. I'll be very honest with you. I talk for a living, but they are who make the magic happen. They take all of our thousands upon thousands of data points and create our reporting and make that bite-sizable and pretty and shiny for all of us to kind of use and break down. So I'm super grateful to them. And then Emma Bryan, our AmeriCorps member, which I cannot say more about how successful the AmeriCorps process has been for us. If you ever interested in what that experience has been like for us, we'd be happy to share. But really excited and proud of what our team is doing, and always want to give credit where credit is due. I always say, like, hire people that are smarter and more creative and better than you. So we have really worked to do that. So a little bit about 211 for those of you that don't know. 211 is a statewide service that is provided 100% to you guys for free by United Way. So Trident United Way pays for 211 and all of the services, data points, trainings, materials, all of that to be provided to you guys for free. It is information and referrals. So what we do is we connect individuals basically to you guys. What we are working to do is make good, correct referrals, provide good, correct information to get people out of that referral loop. So to avoid people being popped from agency to agency to agency, where they get very frustrated and, you know, they're not eligible. They can't apply for that. They are out of the income bracket, they're not in the right demographic, whatever that is, you guys are out of funding. We work to answer all of those questions. So in the resource database, we have over 3,000 service providers in the state of South Carolina. There are almost 400 in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties alone. We work to update those at least once a year, but most of them get updated all the time. The primary calls that we receive are for basic needs. So staying safe, dry, warm, and fed. That is the primary calls that we get. We are available 24/7, 365. So the easiest way for community members to access 211 is simply to pick up the phone and dial 211. And they will talk with a call agent that will walk them through whatever is going on. So do they need assistance paying rent, utility bills, counseling services, substance abuse treatment, mentoring programs, child care programs, community health clinics, immunizations, whatever that is. If it's provided on a free or a sliding scale, it is probably in our database. We also have a website and 211 texting. You can simply text 211 211, and you can text electric, food, home, or DSS. And the reason DSS is included because not only does DSS in the state of South Carolina provide child protective services and adult protective services, but they also manage SNAP, TANF, Medicaid. They manage a lot of other services in those application processes. So it's really important to be aware of that and connected to those agencies. And again, just to be clear, all of those things are free. Access to the website, the texting, the calling, all of that's free to the community, and it's all confidential. So we're going to go through and talk about the data points that we collect when people call, but just to be very clear, none of those data points, we don't report them to anyone except like to share the data points, but there's no like reporting to any agency. And secondly, we take no personal identifying information. So even if callers provide their name, address, birthday, anything like that, we do not collect any of that or share that with anyone, just to be very clear. So we'll start moving into what those numbers look like and what that annual report looks like for 2022. So in 2022, statewide, there were over 76,000 calls, and that's how we get so many of our data points. We know where our callers call from, what they call about, what their need is, and who they're referred to. And then we ask our callers once we've started to work with them, if they would opt into an optional demographic survey. About 50% of our callers do opt into that survey, which is a great percentage. If any of you guys have ever done surveys, if you can get more than teen percentile, you're doing a great job. So yeah, about 50%. So it's a really good, accurate picture of who's actually calling 211. So on this next slide, you'll see, so we had 76,000 calls statewide. Over 10,000 of those calls were just from the Tri-County area. So just from the 3-county radius of Dorchester, Charleston, and Berkeley counties. We had 10,766 calls, which was a slight reduction from last year, but kind of negligible in all honesty. 3% is really not that big of a number when we're talking about that many calls. But what we do see is total referrals. You'll see those total referrals are 20,000 plus. You'll notice it's about double the number of calls, and that's good. We want to offer our callers more than one referral because we recognize, especially in the Tri-County area, but in lots of other places in the state, transportation is a barrier, getting from place to place, and then eligibility, funding, all of those things can be barriers for individuals, and so we try to offer them multiple referrals. But you will see, as compared to 2021, our overall referrals were down 16%, as opposed to our calls being down by only 3%. And what we're able to gather from that, and we'll show you a little bit more about it as we move forward, but what we're able to gather from that is we had a pretty similar call volume as 2021, but much fewer services and programs that we were able to refer out to. And a lot of that is chalked up to a lot of agencies on this call, and our local municipalities had emergency rental assistance funding, utility funding. They all had a lot of programs and money that they had either never had before or an abundance of due to CARES Act and ARPA funding. And a lot of that went away last year. A lot of that funding was spent at the beginning of last year or by the end. of last year. And so we really noticed that, and that absence of funding was very, very felt in our community. You'll notice that, and we are really rocketing as far as websites visits go, and that our websites and our agencies are using that way more. And then you can see that breakdown of calls and referrals in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester County. And I think it's really important to note, particularly in Charleston and Dorchester County, that pretty strong reduction in referrals, especially in Charleston County, where we continue to have really elevated call volume, but a really large reduction in referral options. And a lot of that was directly related to rent assistance and utility assistance. All right, so next page, we'll walk through, breaks down referrals just a little bit more. And so what you'll see is the blue boxes are referrals, the amount of referrals we were able to give each month in 2021. And then kind of those yellowish orangish boxes are the amount of referrals we were able to give in 2022. And what you'll notice is we kind of stayed steady at the first part of the year, but then by June, as calls or as funding and services started ending, we ran out of funding, the programs started ending. You'll see a very large difference in the number of referrals that we were able to make in 2021 and 2022. And you'll see a pretty large gap there that we just simply weren't able to offer near as many referrals to callers as we normally did in 2021. So it was definitely a large gap. Okay. All right. So we'll keep going. And then we'll answer kind of all the questions at the end. Don't think if you're putting something in the chat that we're ignoring you. We'll kind of go through all that at the end and answer everything. So what do those top needs look like? So that, remember, we talked about that not only do we ask, we know who called and where they called from, but we know what they called about. And so what you'll notice here is all of our top needs in the Tri-County area. So again, in Charleston, Dorchester, and Berkeley counties, all of those calls were housing related. And in fact, of like the top 17 top needs in those three counties in the Tri-County area, all of those needs except one were housing related. And can somebody guess what the only other one was not? That was not housing related.
Legal?
Oh, legal is a very good guess, Stephanie. And we actually count general legal aid as a housing need because the vast majority of those referrals were directly for a representation in housing court. So the only other one, and you guys are going to think you're crazy when you don't guess it. Food. Food's the only other one, guys. So food is the only other one that in like the top 17 needs that was not housing related. And so we have seen it just was a huge percentage of calls this year and more so than in other years. Those had shifted a lot. But what you will notice is those top three needs for electric, rent, and water assistance, paying those bills, those referrals went down and those calls went down somewhat. And that is because simply there was nowhere to refer individuals to for that after about the middle of the year, especially in like 29405 and 29406. Those zip codes of Sproul, Park Circle Avenue, or Park Circle, Sproul Avenue, Rivers Ave, kind of up into Leeds and all of that. A lot of really high need, really high call volume, low resource opportunities there. But what you will see is a huge increase in things like general legal aid, public housing, and homelessness prevention programs. And that's what we found is that because we could not refer them to agencies that could pay their bills, we were referring them to agencies to help them prevent eviction, or if they encountered eviction and were evicted from their homes, that we were working to prevent homelessness. Okay, so we'll keep going and talk about the kind of the breakdown in quarters. And so quarterly, you'll notice there's that those top numbers are 4,000, 3,000. Those are the number of calls, the number of needs per quarter. And you can kind of see how that shifts. As you'll notice, typically in the first half of the year, we see a lot of seasonal trends. And what we usually see in those first 2 quarters is that a lower volume of needs and calls because kids are in school. So they're getting fed. There's not a lot of burden with childcare costs. And people have tax money, and the season is milder. You're able to not run your air as much and those types of things. But then as you move into quarter 3 and quarter 4, you can see that those numbers rise and continue to rise during those times, and that we see a lot of increase in need because kids are in and out of school during those periods of time. Kiddos are and not being fed at school, or childcare costs, or then holiday costs, like all the costs go up. So we typically see those seasonal trends. And then, sometimes when we have major hurricanes and things like that, we'll see really sharp increases. But as the one was relatively mild this last year, we didn't see those really sharp increases in some of those times. And then next page, we'll see a breakdown of those needs by city and town, which is really great. And you can see a huge difference. So if you'll look there at the top for North Charleston, there is almost a 2,000, which is insane to me, almost 2,000 call difference between North Charleston and then the next highest city, which is going to be Charleston, the city of Charleston. So it is a huge gap. It's really identifying where a lot of those needs are coming from and who's calling. We can break down and get as granular as zip code, and we certainly do in our reporting if that's helpful to you guys. But you guys can see that breakdown and see some, how some of those resources worked out, how those referrals went, those types of things in that section. So let's talk a little bit about, with the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about what next steps are. What can you guys do to use this data? How can we support you? And so what we find a lot of agencies doing, and a lot of agencies I can see on this call that have already used this information, they're using it for grant purposes. They're using it for strategic planning, and they're using it for program and service area expansion. And what we are really, really encouraging is that any big changes that you're making with strategic planning or expanding your services and service areas, that you are making data-driven decisions. We recognize that sometimes boards can get a little bit tunnel visioned on things and kind of get on a thing, but recognizing, and that's good. We want passionate board members. We want passionate visionaries, but we also want data-driven decisions, right? We want to expand into areas and expand into programming that is really high need. Not just because it's someone's pet project. I mean, that's just the truth. We see that all the time. We also want to move into, when you guys are doing strategic planning and looking at long-term goals, that you're using these large data sets to help you do that. And certainly lots of you on here continually use this for funding purposes and grant purposes. That this is great data to show a need, especially as you want to write grants for increased programming. It really can help show the need in the community. We also break down into demographics. As we talked about, we do ask an optional demographic survey. I didn't include a ton of that on these slides, but we certainly can share that with you and are happy to share this data with you. Again, all of this is provided for free because of Trident United Way. And their generous donors. And then 2-in-1 trainings for staff and volunteers. Again, lots of you on this call, I've done this for your staff or your volunteers. And let's be honest, y'all, volunteers love a training. Y'all, they get so excited about them. We're happy to do them for you. And so we will come in and we will walk through with your staff and your volunteers how to use 2-in-1, how to get your clients to use 2-in-1, how they can connect, and then what services are active and available in your area, so that your staff members and your volunteers are not kind of participating in this overall cycle of referral to referral to referral to referral to back where you started 2 weeks later after you've taken time off work and you paid somebody gas money to drop you off at an agency that wasn't even open. We cannot keep doing that. And I'll be honest with you guys, I find that to be a disservice to our clients. And then they get very frustrated with the system. Trust is broken. And what we can do is make a real genuine effort to be really knowledgeable about what's available and out there and how we can help clients get connected to it. So whether that's guiding them through documentation, application processes, whatever that is, we want to help you guys do that and support y'all in that work. Then we also have 2-in-1 materials for clients. We are happy to bring that to you guys. We have posters, cards, brochures in English and Spanish. And we are happy to get those directly to you guys. And we love for you guys to put them in like food distributions. Anytime you can have them at your front desk, those types of things. It's really helpful if you want to put them like kid backpack programs, anything like that, to where we recognize these things are getting directly to the community, so the community knows where to turn if they've got a crisis and need help with next steps. There's also a self-serve toolkit with like social media assets and videos and things, if that's something that you want to use with your team or share with your team and your clients, available on TUW's website. And for any of these things, you can certainly just email me with those requests. You can also email some of the team at TUW if you're already directly connected with them. Either way, we will get you what you need, and we will just support the work that you guys do as much as we can. Okay, good. All right, so that was a lot, and I will answer what questions I can. I think some of my team answered some of the questions, which is great. So yeah, one of the questions was, do you collect data on veterans and where they are referred to? And one of my team, Lucius, answered, we don't ask veteran status, but we do have referral listings for veteran specific services. So while we don't ask if someone is a veteran in the demographic portion, if they bring that up or tell that to our call specialist, we are then referring them to specific veteran services. And that's something we can run a report on. Like, we can run reports on how many agencies that offer veteran services specifically were referred to in our local area. So that's very, very easy for us to do. What do we attribute to increased website traffic? Elizabeth, that's a super great question. Some of it is, I'll be honest with you, we don't totally know. I would be honest with you. It's a huge increase, and we don't have all the answers. We are limited in what we're able to know about our website. That is, we're going to change some of our website moving forward to where we will know more things. But we don't know a ton yet. But a lot of it is, we do know that our agencies are using it way more. So we've done a lot of trainings with police departments, fire departments, the agencies, like all of you guys. So your staff and our first responders are using the website a lot more as they're on scene and working directly with clients, as opposed to just referring clients to call 211 directly. Any other questions? And like I said, we're happy to provide any and all of this data to you guys. We are also happy to join any of your meetings, like with your board, your strategic planning committees. We've certainly done that with a number of agencies here where we have presented this data. Again, recognizing that sometimes the vision of maybe leadership is going one way and the board may be pushing another way. And so it just helps us, again, present facts so that, it's kind of like having a parent, like your parents can't tell you anything, but if like your friend tells you, like, that's a great idea, I should do that. It's kind of the same thing. If I come in from the outside, we often are able to kind of offer this fact-based information to where people are maybe a little bit more receptive and help you guys move the ball forward to kind of build capacity in your areas. So thank y'all. You're amazing. We 100% could not do any of this work without you. We only exist to support you guys and the community members that you serve. So don't hesitate at all to email me to request any of this data, to request trainings, or to request materials for your clients and to use at your agency. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katie. If you think of any more questions during the meeting, please just put them in the chat and we can go back to them at the end. I know the data for this is just incredible. I think the zip code data is what gets to me the most, and where the biggest need is just incredible. And you really can't argue with data. So Katie, thank you. And thank you to your team who provide this for us. And y'all, her trainings are incredible. So please take advantage of them. They really are great. And she can do them virtually or in person. Is that correct, Katie? Okay, she might not be here. But I do believe she can do both. So thank you so much. And so I want to just introduce Caprice Atterbury, who is the CEO of Origin. We have used Origin for years and years and years as a referral, even when it was family services. So they do just an amazing job and have so many services that I think people don't really realize. And so Caprice, I'm going to turn it over to you and Stephanie. And if you would introduce Stephanie for me, and then you're on.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you hear me all right?
We can.
Okay. Thank you so much to Trident United Way and Kathy for inviting us. And Katie, thank you for that terrific presentation. 211 is a super resource. I'm Caprice Atterbury, the CEO of Family Services, now known as Origin SC. I've been with the organization for 20 years now. And my co-presenter is Stephanie Moreau, our housing director. She's been with the organization for 17 years. If you don't know, Family Services, now known as Origin SC, is 135 years old. We've been serving the Charleston area since 1888. And over the years, we have constantly changed our programs to address issues facing our community and analyze our programs using data when it's available to make sure that the programs are as effective and helpful to the needs of our community. Currently, we have offices in North Charleston with a satellite in Columbia and Spartanburg, and we serve clients throughout South Carolina and into Georgia, with the majority in the Tri-County area and the Columbia area. Stephanie, are you able to share our slideshow?
When I try to screen share, it says that I can't.
So Angie will run that for you.
Okay.
Stephanie, try it now. You should be able to.
Okay. Let's see.
So Angie, if you'd go ahead and run it, that would be great.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you got it?
I think that's Stephanie.
Yeah. Can you confirm you just see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Stephanie, it's not in presentation mode.
This is the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, we're seeing all the details of it.
All right, maybe someone else should just put the presentation
Okay,
up.
so if you would stop sharing, then Angie will do that for you.
Got it.
Please hold for technology issues. Okay, there we go.
Okay, the Origin has a variety of programs, all with the mission of empowering individuals to achieve financial and housing stability through advocacy, counseling, and education. Our vision is that individuals, families, and the community will achieve financial and housing stability. We have several paths to achieve these goals. Housing stability, which includes emergency solutions, rental assistance, utility assistance, and housing foreclosure prevention, homelessness prevention. We have representative payee services where we receive the funds for over 1,500 disabled individuals and use their limited funds of about $900 a month to pay their rent, pay their utilities, and make sure they're living as comfortably as possible on $900 a month. We provide fiduciary services where we're court appointed to serve disabled individuals who don't have anybody to help them manage their finances. And we have about 690 individuals that we serve in that program on an ongoing basis. We offer home ownership promotion programs. We believe that home ownership is the path to stability. And underneath that program, we offer financial education and coaching. We offer lending services and family violence intervention services. So Stephanie and I are going to talk a little bit about each of these programs and how they might help you in in the work that you all do.
Thank you, Caprice. As Caprice mentioned, there are many different paths that we can offer to a client when they come to Origin. During the intake session, every client is provided with an assessment for housing and financial stability. And our team knows that housing stability is strongly tied to financial stability and customizes programs to offer solutions to navigate everyone's unique situation in a positive resolution. Our housing stability program is designed to restore a sense of stability and autonomy for our clients. And we do this by assessing and developing an achievable action plan to target the client's desired goal. And this can be any goal. Then through advocacy and coaching, we strive to empower the client to take action and guide them towards achieving financial and housing stability. Specifically through our Housing Stability Counseling Program, we provide free financial counseling sessions with HUD licensed coaches to identify the root causes associated with any housing instability with the goal of preventing eviction and foreclosure. During these coaching sessions, we provide the clients with a free tri-merge credit report and develop an individualized plan unique to their situation. We also identify available options and resources that can be utilized and assist the clients with the application process to secure these resources.
We also offer permanent supportive housing, also known as Lease on Life services. Our permanent supportive housing program helps disabled, chronically homeless individuals who have been homeless for at least a year or 4 times or more within the last 3 years. We help them find housing, we pay the rent, and we help them achieve permanent housing through collaboration with various community agencies. In that program, we serve an average of about 50 chronically homeless disabled individuals on an ongoing basis. We also have emergency solutions grant funds when available, Trident United Way funds when available, for everything from utility assistance, property tax assistance, rental assistance, and foreclosure prevention assistance. With our emergency housing grant last year, we assisted 492 households to prevent eviction, foreclosure, and utility disconnect. $760,000 is what was available. In prior year, 2020, 2021, we had over $1 million in assistance. And what we discovered is the assistance runs out right away. As Katie mentioned, that there absolutely wasn't any money available towards the end of 2022. But with those funds, we provide the counseling and the budgeting to help people find solutions. So hopefully they won't have to come back for emergency financial assistance in the future. Our representative payee program is such an important program to help prevent homelessness. We have over 1,500 clients who rely on our counselors every day. Each counselor receives over 100 phone calls a day from their clients. We receive their funds, we pay their bills, and we champion for them with their landlords to help prevent homelessness. Our goal is that our clients will be functionally independent, and we provide budget management for them. We have, over the years, helped thousands and thousands in this program. And with the next slide, we can say that 99% of our payee clients would be homeless if not for this program. A disabled individual who is receiving disability income from Social Security and is unable to manage their own funds is appointed to us by Social Security Administration. And by doing that, we receive their funds and they're able to continue to be housed with our assistance and live as comfortably as possible on their limited means. If it weren't for this program, so many of these individuals would be homeless, possibly incarcerated. And it's not just a human problem. This is a very important issue for our whole community. It matters to everybody. Homelessness isn't somebody else's issue. It has a ripple effect throughout the community and impacts the availability of healthcare resources, crime and safety, the workforce, and the use of tax dollars. It impacts today and the future. Our fiduciary services program offers conservatorships for disabled individuals where we're court appointed and we manage the funds, make sure that all their bills are paid and their assets are protected. We have 690 clients that we assist in that program. Personal representative, we are appointed in cases where a deceased individual has no family to step in and take over management of the estate. And we act as trustee and power of attorney for families and individuals who want to make sure their estate is taken care of once they're gone. We've done a great job with this program over the years and are serving clients throughout South Carolina. And both the fiduciary program and the representative payee program are growing exponentially throughout the state. As a fiduciary, our basic responsibilities are managing individual assets, investing them, creating monthly budgets, paying bills, provide personal allowance. We freeze their credit so that they can't be abused, and we stop exploitation. We file close to 400 tax returns for these clients each year and provide a full service that banks and trust departments used to provide, but they don't provide those services for low-income individuals. And that's why Origin is here to help these people who need us so much.
Okay, so our Homeownership Resource Center is HUD approved to provide unique housing programs, including home purchase advising, down payment and closing cost assistance loans, foreclosure prevention, and reverse mortgage counseling. Through the individual pre-purchase education sessions and work groups, our staff will help you identify and overcome any impediment to homeownership and create strategies that will help you purchase a home that you can afford. We offer free workshops regularly every month. On every second Thursday, we have Intro to Homeownership at 6 p.m. As well as on the fourth Thursday of every month, we offer the Credit Improvement and Making Ends Meet workshop. Both of those workshops are free. And as you can see on this slide, we've helped several people over the past year in particular with achieving homeownership. We were able to assist 168 people in our community achieve homeownership in 2022, which I think is absolutely fantastic. We also educated 817 clients individually, and through our workshops, we coached 933 participants. We also have a debt management program, and this is here to provide consumers who are overwhelmed with credit card debt assistance. We develop consolidated payment programs that include lower interest rates and monthly payments, which are made directly to our office and distributed appropriately to the creditors on the client's behalf. We also provide the required bankruptcy counseling sessions needed for both pre and post filing education that is needed when pursuing filing a bankruptcy. We strive to identify the needs in our community in our lending department, and we also try to develop programs and services that are going to help meet those needs. We partner with local banks to stay current with loan products available and the requirements needed to secure those products so we can best help prepare our clients for homeownership. For example, Pinnacle 100 program offers down payment assistance designed to help low to moderate income buyers purchase or refinance their primary residence in designated census tracts. This program offers no private mortgage insurance, a 650 minimum credit score to qualify, and has up to $7,500 in down payment closing cost assistance. And through our lending department, we also offer reverse mortgage counseling, which is required for senior citizens when obtaining a reverse mortgage. Well, I'm also super excited to let you guys all know that Origin is currently offering our $1,000 down payment and closing cost assistance grant, which is a forgivable grant offered to eligible individuals and families. The grant is designed to promote and preserve homeownership and permanent housing for home buyers throughout the state of South Carolina. These grants are subject to certain terms and conditions that the borrower and property must meet to qualify, but I do want everyone to know that that is available.
Thank you, Stephanie. Another program that we have is our family violence intervention. This is an amazing program. It's sort of at the heart of what Family Services has done for years. Origin offers group workshops and individual counseling for those who have experienced domestic violence or have unmanaged anger that escalated into verbal and/or physical abuse and violence. Over the years, we have offered anger management, batters intervention, domestic violence, and individual counseling, and now psychotherapy counseling. Those programs are all active right now, and they help people on a path to a better future so that they can have the success that they need financially and in their home. One of our favorite success stories is a woman who came and participated in the 16-week domestic violence counseling program. She graduated into debt management credit sense program, joined the debt management program, paid off all of her debt within 3 years. And a year later, she was able to purchase a home for her and her children. She came back to us and asked when she could enroll her children into our programs so that they could stop that cycle of domestic violence right there. The next slide has some wonderful stories. For those who cannot see the screen, I'll read one of them to you. I cannot recommend this program enough. It was life-changing for me to be in a room of women who have had experienced domestic violence, had their lives turned upside down, and to have Origin's team rally around us and breathe encouragement, wisdom, and truth into our lives. There are 2 more stories there, but I will let you read those. And I want to thank you so much for joining us. Origin is here for you. We have posted our website. I'm Caprice Atterbury. Stephanie Moreau is presenting with me, and we are available for questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, Caprice. So we had a couple of questions. So let me, where are the workshops held? Only in Charleston County? That was one question.
All the workshops are virtual, and a few of them are in person. Our coaching, all of it is virtual. If somebody needs it in person, we can do that as well. And some bankruptcy counseling is done on the phone, as is reverse mortgage counseling for people who don't have access to a computer.
Great. Do you offer domestic violence victims shelter or funding for shelter to remove them from the violent situation?
We do not offer shelter. My sister's house is a partner there, and we do not have funding for shelter. But we do have funding for, well, when we have funding available, victims of domestic violence are eligible for rental and utility and foreclosure prevention assistance.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Caprice and Stephanie. The things that you provide are just amazing. I have had several clients that have gone through your program and have been able to get to purchase a home, and it's just amazing. I think Lavania Graham Dixon said that she had been through the program, and Miss Lavania, if she says it's good, it's good. So thank you all so much. We do appreciate what you do in the community. So
Thank you.
have some announcements this morning. Ashley Grimble from Halos. Are you on, Ashley? So if Ashley was not able to join us this morning, so this will go out in the information that comes to you next week. Halos is a great resource for kinship care, kinship families. So please take advantage of them. Is Increasing Hope on?
Yes, we're here.
Adriana, you are, there's some feedback.
Yes, I hear.
So you want me to go ahead and just tell people about this from your flyer? So more technical difficulties. So Increasing Hope is having an event called Motivate Her South Carolina. It's in Charleston at the Low Country Conference Center on Sigma Drive in Somerville, which is in Nexton. So it's a great place. It's a great conference. It's March 25th. And all of this will go out for you in the announcements that you'll get next week. All right. Is Jane Tesler on?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Jane.
I'm going to have Liz Reynolds speak on behalf of me today.
Okay.
And I think she should be here.
Hi, I'm here. Thank you for
Okay.
having us.
You're welcome. And this is with Shape. Can you tell us a little bit about what Shape is?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So, Shape serves the Tri-County area in sexual health awareness, STI prevention and education. And we were founded here in the Low Country in the year of 2015. And we are a public health nonprofit collaborative that provides a range of services to those targeted individuals that have suffered disparate rates of STIs such as chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV, syphilis, hepatitis. And we do that by partnering with our local hospitals like MUSC, Roper, physicians that work in infectious disease, providers in the community like Palmetto Community Care, some local pharmacies, Deotis, the Empower program, and the city of Charleston, which several years ago became a fast track city here in the United States. And so, and what we mean by fast track is that the city is partnering with us to help us reach national HIV STD goals of 90, 90, 90, and now it's increased to 95, 95, 95. And those goals are, we want people to know their status, number one. We want people to be engaged in care, number two, because antiretroviral therapy, whether you're talking about HIV or hepatitis, helps individuals bring their viral load down so that they don't transmit disease to other individuals. We're trying to get on top of this global epidemic. And we have 2 work groups that meet regularly. Our surveillance and clinical work group meets every other month, and our communications and outreach work group meet every month. And the clinical surveillance work group not only monitor the data, but also provide providers in our communities with best practices and support when they're seeing the individuals. And our and also help author targeted interventions like providing at-home HIV test kits and teleprep services that are video services, getting the services to the people where they live, because transportation is a huge issue for many of the people that we serve. On the community outreach work group, we engage in educating groups of college age students, work with College of Charleston, Trident Community College. We offer, through partnering with DHEC and other providers, free testing services. We engage in community conversations with people that are most proportionally affected by these illnesses and problems. And as we all know, if you are housing unstable and if you're food unstable, then how likely are you to be able to stay in care even? So, so we work with a wide variety of community partners to try to implement our targeted interventions and goals. And twice a year, we have annual meetings of all our membership, and we mark the progress we've made toward our goals. We are hosting in April a chat with everyone who's involved. It's going to be held downtown, and leaders of very different areas will be engaging in community conversation about the issues that we are up against. And I think it'll be very productive. And I thank you for attention. We have a website, and I can send that to you, Ms. Eaton, so that you could share that with everyone, so that they could visit our webpage. It is currently under construction, but a lot of our resources are there, and anyone who wants to join, we are welcoming new members from all areas, the faith-based community, businesses, anyone living with these types of illnesses and diseases. We are very open and welcome to all comers. And so thank you for giving us this forum to tell everyone a little bit about our efforts. And if there's any questions, I can, put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Betty Presley with Head Start. Miss Betty, you had a quick announcement?
Very, very quick. Good morning, everyone. And I'm sorry I don't have a flyer to share, an updated flyer to share with you. However, starting March 6th, which is Monday, we will begin taking applications for Berkeley Dorchester Head Start. The child has to be 3 on or before September 1st. However, Head Start is a little different because if they turn 3 after September 1st and a slot is available, then they'll be able to attend. So the application will be online on the Berkeley County School District website. You just click on Head Start and just complete the application, and the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Miss Betty. If you'll send me the updated flyer, we'll send it out to everyone.
I will.
Next week.
I
Okay.
will.
Thank you so much. Latoya Geddes with SC Thrive had an announcement. Okay, so Latoya.
I am here. I'm so sorry. I was trying to find the button.
All
Good
right.
morning, everyone. I am Latoya Geddes. I'm with South Carolina Thrive, and I am the coordinator for our eviction protection program. I just wanted to let everyone know that we are available to provide legal services for residents in the area that are facing eviction or are dealing with any kind of eviction troubles. We do have 2 workshops coming up, one on March 13th at the library on Otranto, and one on April 3rd at the library on Calhoun Street, where we will have legal counsel present to help anyone who does attend. And if you need any further information, I did drop my RAC card in the chat, so and also my direct contact information.
Great. Thank you, Latoya. That's great, and we'll include that flyer in the follow-up information. So a couple of things I wanted to let y'all know about. We've got a virtual Healthy Tri-County conversation on race and health equity that's happening Monday, March 20th. And we will send that out. It's a great workshop and presentation. So we'll send that information out in the follow-up information. And then we will continue to offer charity tracker training. So if you are interested, please let me know and we will send that to you. The next training is Wednesday, March 8th at 9 o'clock. It's a great time. And even if you just need a refresher, we welcome you to join us. Any questions? I'm trying to see if there were any questions in the chat that we didn't get, but I think we answered them all. So thank you so much to all of you for presenting today and joining us today. If you are interested in presenting at a SafetyNet meeting, please let me know. Or if you have an announcement at the next meeting, please let me know and we will certainly get you in. So thank you all for all you do. I hope you have a great weekend and we look forward to seeing you in May. Take care.